Does Germany have study-life balance? Is it really international? How difficult are the German universities really? And how much does it really cost? So I'm going to answer all of those questions in this video. Let's start with the fun stuff first. Drinking age for beer and wine is 16 in Germany. So by the time people are at the university, they are already drinking a lot. My first day at the university was a huge beer party. I think it might be because it's the Bavarian lifestyle in Munich. Our first weeks had a lot of beer, a lot of alcohol, a lot of parties, a lot of events. I don't remember half of it. So German students do have a life at the beginning of the semester. My study life balance was like, first month of the semester I will go have fun, drink, hang out with friends, and the last half of the semester was exam phase, so I would just go to the library with friends, drink lots of coffee, and study. Study life balance. Beer is everywhere at the university. This is no joke. Breakfast at Friday in Bavaria includes beer. It's called Weißwurstfrühstück. People were getting beer at the university canteen at 10 a.m. and it was okay. I had even professors drinking beer during lectures. It was so common and no one is an alcoholic here, so it's normal. So in terms of university life, I have like a beer life everywhere. International students. So in German-speaking degrees, there are still some international students coming from German high schools abroad, like myself, or they just learn German for 1 year before the university. It is called Studienkolleg here. So they do this thing for 1 year where they learn German and specific words in German about the studies they want to continue in Germany. In the degrees that are in English, the internationality percentage is higher, obviously, and there are a lot of Erasmus students who really want to party here. So I met people all around the world while I was here. I do not think that it is as international as the US in comparison. It depends on what you do in your free time, but there are a lot of international students. How difficult are the universities? I do not think that the subjects themselves are that difficult, but they purposefully make the exams difficult. What I mean by that? So, giving you a simple example. What professors talk during the class are like 1 + 1, and you go to the exercises and it's like 5 times 2, and you go like, okay, I can manage this. And the exam is like 250 to the power of 3, and you go like, You were talking about 1 + 1. What is this? Yes. At least in engineering degrees, the exams are on another level. Just a suggestion, what I did was like, I tried to understand the concept from the lectures and did some exercises just to see if I really understand it. And the whole studying part for the exams was like doing old exams all the time, like doing 10, 20 old exams just to understand what they're looking for. You cannot really pass the exams based on the stuff they teach. I'm sorry. It was at least like that in my studies. So they purposefully do the exams difficult. The success rate in the exams, especially for engineering, is around 30% per exam. At my university, 50% of the people who started with me did not graduate, so it's around that range. So it is difficult, it is manageable. If you study hard, you can pass every exam. I do not think that if someone works really hard, they would fail. I do not think that this happens, but you just need to be really disciplined about how you study. That's the reality of German universities. It is easier to get in, it's harder to graduate. If you're going to a big university in Germany, some of these right here, they do not care about you. You have to motivate yourself for the lectures. And for many classes, The attendance is not mandatory in Germany, so you can skip the class, whatever, but it is highly recommended that you go through some of the lectures to stay motivated. If you do not go to any lectures and just study for the exams, I don't think it's healthy as a social structure, and I think it's very difficult to keep motivating yourself when you're a lone wolf. I didn't attend some of the classes after a few years, but at the beginning I was very committed to going to the lectures just to see people. But there is a huge library culture here. So during the exam period, students go to the libraries to learn together and to motivate themselves because, like I said, professors do not care. So it's always nice to find different types of motivations in that sense. How are the exams structured? They are usually every 6 months at the end of the semester, so you would get like lectures for 3 to 4 months, and at the end you will have one final and one grade. Some faculties have retakes a few months after the initial exam, some have it after 6 months, so you have to wait a lot to get your second chance if you do not pass the first time. Life stuff. Sports offering for students. I love Germany for this. I love sports. They have amazing sports offering for students. I never paid this amount doing sports for every day in my entire life. I lived in the Olympic Village in Munich, so this is the place the Olympics of 1972 were held. So we had all the facilities we could imagine in one place. It was amazing. And I only paid €7.50 to be able to attend the classes there, and then €15 to be able to use the swimming pool for a whole semester. So I could do sports every day, €22.50 for 6 months. It's like less than €4 per month. It was unbelievable. I loved it. Finances. I actually had to Google this because it has been a while since I was a student. Google says around €1,000 per student, depending on the rent. Obviously, I think this is reasonable. If I were a student at the moment, I would probably pay around 800 to 1,000 per month, depending on my rent. So my rent at the moment is actually higher than 1,000. It wouldn't be feasible to live in this place as a student if you're on a budget. As an international student, for the visa only, it is required that you have the money for 1 year in the bank just to be able to get the visa. Then I came to Germany around 10 years ago. It was around €7,800 or something. Now it's more like this much. So you can imagine, depending on the city, it will be around this much. In bigger cities, rent is a lot, so you need to pay attention to that as well. Student fees are pretty low at the moment, and transportation as well. €49 per month. Amazing! Thank you, Germany. We love you. If you're on a budget, you can do part-time jobs while you're a student in Germany. I did multiple of these because I thought it was fun to connect with people, and you can work in restaurants, cafes as a student, or you can actually get jobs related to your studies. I think it was the best way for me to get some experience as a student and get to know some people in the field I would like to work in the future. And you could start your full-time job after your studies in the company if you're happy with the position and if they offer you a contract. So as a student, you can work 20 hours per week during the lecture time and around 40 hours per week when you do not have any lectures. So you can actually work on a student visa in Germany and finance your studies. That is an option depending on your tuition fees, your rent, and where you actually study. I think it's getting a bit more difficult in Munich because of the rent. It is crazy around here. Accommodation. How do the students live? There is not a campus vibe. So there are 3 types of dorms here: public dorms, And from organizations like from church or different kinds of organization have their own dorms where you have to apply and go through interview processes to be able to get in. There are some private dorms obviously that are a bit more expensive, but if you want to go into the dorm life, those are the three options. I think the public dorms were the best in terms of like organizing events and people from all around the places. It was fun. Like I said, there is no campus life, so you can also get your own place, own apartment. A lot of students do is shared apartment. It is called WG, Wohngemeinschaft in German. So a lot of students get a place with a few rooms and they just have a shared kitchen and bathroom together, maybe have a separate bathroom if they're lucky. I did all of the three. If you're looking for advice, public dorms are the best, but you have to wait for it because a lot of people want it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this, you can also like some of these over here. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.